Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
Three.
Number 2.
One.
Woohoo!
There you go. There you go. It's like the calendar. What comes after Saturday?
Right.
Sunday. What comes after the intro? 3, 2, 1. I don't know why.
Woohoo.
We do that like we're launching a rocket, Juan. And
Maybe this could be a rocket.
and that's not quite what we're trying to do here. But hey, America, just in case we've been speaking for almost 30 seconds now. We have not reminded you that you are welcome.
You're welcome.
You're back. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Pretty eventful day. We're catching up and realizing, hey, let's just press record on this.
Yeah.
And start. But before I got to start so I, even though I think she's on her way home right now. So this is my wedding anniversary today.
Happy.
Thank you. The big 30.
Man.
30.
I must have got married when you were like 10.
Oh man, we had to get paper signed because it was against the law in the state of Louisiana
In most states
to marry so young. But yeah, man, 30 years today. And what's interesting is it started playing out just like it did on the wedding day, because you're not supposed to see your
right. You don't see it that day.
Your fiance on the wedding day. My wife's been on a church retreat with a confirmation retreat all weekend. So they're just now getting back into town and just doing a couple things. And so I haven't seen her all day. I'll see her later on, just like it. And we're going to leave tomorrow for an anniversary trip, basically just like we did all those many moons ago.
The one disappointing difference: Michael Hutchins from NXS won't be on the flight.
I doubt Michael Hutch, man.
If he is, you call me and I'm going.
I totally forgot about that one. I may slap on some NXS. I may slap on some NXS in the earbuds on the way out of here. Yeah, we're heading to Key West. Got to connect in Miami. I have to fly American Airlines tomorrow because my normal United doesn't. They don't fly to Key West, nor does Southwest Airlines.
All right.
So they can get you to Miami. That's what American Airlines is going to do, which means first world problems here. I got zero status on American Airlines.
I'm like the rest of us.
I'm a freaking peasant, and even though it's our 30th anniversary, and probably spending we're staying in a nice place and everything, but couldn't quite pull the trigger on. I thought about, man, we should go first class for our.
Why don't you tell them it's your anniversary? They may bump you up.
Yeah, they don't do that crap. Back a long time ago, when airlines were actually in the customer service business,
yeah,
they did nice stuff. Now they just laugh at you. But so going to connect, and hopefully things go according to plan. And this time tomorrow, I'll be.
You'll be kicking it on the beach.
Key West is not a. They've built a beach there.
So.
Oh, it's. I don't want to jinx it. It's every time you say something is right, so cool, all you're doing is jinxing it. But Key West was never a beach town. Now they built one a few years back, and by a few it could have been 20. But they came in.
It's the vibe of Key West and the culture and the
chill. Beach. You do not go to Key West to go to the beach. It's again it's the vibe. And so anyway, so if we do this next weekend, I'll have those stories to throw at you. But right before we were coming on, we were talking about the most important thing going on in the world today. And no, that's not the fact that we have military vessels being fired on right now, as probably, I don't know if it's still going on, but in the Red Sea. But the Saints set you up, Juan. They set you up.
Typical Saints.
Start you off in utter despair.
Right. Then it's like, whoa, what's happening? We got this.
Yeah.
And Jameis comes in And
Man,
Jameis is gonna Jameis.
Jameis, did he come in? I can't even do the
He
W's.
didn't eat no W's
He
yesterday.
didn't come in eating W's, but hey man, Saints, it's one of those years. And the flip side here, just up or not really up or down the road, but just west of you all, the Texans are having a year, man.
Yeah.
We just had a barn burner. So Sean Payton here, the old Saints coach, was here in at NRG Stadium today, and he
Well,
walked
that was the
away.
rookie of the year, probably.
He walked away with an L. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. There's no doubt he's Stroud's going to be Stroud. I'm talking.
Yeah.
Shroud
CJ.
of Turin. Yeah. Yeah, I got that Catholic coming out at me. The Shroud of Turin. So yeah, condolences, Saints fans, but I'm sure
Yeah.
later on I'll punch up
Trying to
Facebook
figure
and
out what we
see
could pick.
exactly everybody going to be, going. But so that's going on. The other
Yeah,
thing,
talking
and
about the
again,
W, I don't know. Did you happen to see game day yesterday before the playoffs? ESPN game day on for college football game day.
I saw a clip, and I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
Theo Vaughn was the guest picker.
Right.
The dude who knows absolutely zero about football, or so it seemed from his. It was either hilarious or quite awkward or a combination of both. But he picked Florida State to win because of Jameis Winston and eating W. So
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, Theo is one of those examples of, but that's just comedians in general. And maybe most people are this way. It just doesn't get exposed because most of us are not talking. We do a podcast once a week, and we don't get into everything. We have fun with this, but we don't go into great. We don't. We stay away from some subjects, right? These podcasters, they're hours and hours and hours every week, so they talk about a lot of stuff. And Theo's actually pretty well. He's well versed. But let me tell you something. Comedians, the stuff they're not well versed in, oh brother, it is painful. Sad thing is, so many of them want to get political, but they don't have the time, attention, or brains to be political. So they'll just jump onto whatever the bandwagon is that will get you the most, cheers.
Right, whatever's getting you clicks, whatever's getting you in there.
But no disrespect. I was in Austin this week. I checked out the comedy Mothership.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. How was that?
It was good, man. It was probably the expectations are so high it met expectations. Okay,
Was
but
Rogan there?
Rogan was there. It was. So what they do, yeah, right. So when they do these things, it's midweek, and it's called Joe Rogan and Friends. And the first comedian came out, and it's always right. The first comedian gets maybe 10, 15 minutes. Second comedian gets a little bit long. And I forget the first comedian's name. He was good. First one up there. Second guy was a guy named Brian Simpson. You've seen him. He does a podcast. He's on Rogan. The third comedian was a guy named Tony Hinchcliffe, who does Kill Tony, which is a big podcast. I think I've seen his stuff. Yeah, you've probably seen clips, and he's on Rogan quite a bit. But he was there, and then Shane Gillis came after that. Now he's the hot guy right now. Shane Gillis is the one that everybody. And then Rogan came on, so probably an hour plus into the show, and Rogan did about 45 minutes. He came out, and yeah, it was great. Had three. So I had a booth, right? I got a private booth. And it's not reserved, but there's only like 5 or 6 booths in the place. It's tables, chairs, and they got booths, sort of like a raised area. So we were, I guess, one of the first ones through when we finally got in. So they gave the guys, "I'm gonna give you the best booth in the place." So we had the center booth, but they're not very big, and that's when I realized I should have invited smaller people or women. So the guys. So one guy I was with, Jim. Jim's a good guy. He's a little bit smaller than me. He's an athletic guy, but he's slight. He's slight. One of my friends, Dan, he's an exec with a pretty big bank. Dan was literally drafted by the San Diego Chargers back in the day. Got the jersey. He got the contract. He never made the first game. He was like one of the last cuts going into it, and he just went something else. But he was a defensive end. He's a big dude. Dan's a big dude. And then the guy, and my other friend there, a guy named Jason, he's probably 6'2", wide. We had 4 men squeezed into a tiny booth, man. We were we were special, but it was fun. It was fun. I don't know what full on Secret Service protection looks like, but dude, I don't think I've ever been to a concert or club that had the security this place has.
Wow.
So you walk in and everything's structured, man. And the way they have it structured, because they want to make sure you can't scalp and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
But then once you get cleared and you got your bands on, you go through the process, they have those bags, right? You got to take you got to turn your phones off. And what's funny, I was joking with the guys I was around, how many of us were having trouble trying to figure out how to turn the phones off because we never turn our phones off.
Right. And when I ever figure out how to turn mine on, I struggle to figure out how to turn it back. I mean, if I turn it off, I struggle to figure out how to get it back on.
Yeah. So, yeah. So you have to turn them off. And then if you have a smartwatch, you have to turn it. So boom, puts it in the bag. And then they got the guys with the metal detector, the waivers. And bro, these aren't the lazy, just kind of.
They're not part-time for, doing this when they're off at TSA.
No, you know what? From what I understand, the people doing this get up on open mic nights. I think almost everybody who works in the clubs, almost everybody who works there are either comedians or want to be comedians, or that's the big thing. They want to, but
they're doing that to get their time.
They took their job serious, bro. Let me tell you something. This wasn't just the passing. This was legit. That was a wand down to get in there, and then probably as much security as I've ever seen in a club. So yeah, and they tell you when you're going in, don't talk. Don't
play.
Don't be having conversations with your friends while the comedians are like.
Good, I like that, because that's always annoying when you're trying to hear something that somebody else. I'm like that even at concerts.
There was this. So we went to the second show. There was this old white guy, and I couldn't figure out what his story was, but I could just look at him across. I could look at him from 20 feet away, and say, "This guy, he may be nothing. They may be nothing to this guy. He may be, just guy standing around, or he could be a chew." Turns out he was a chew. He had been bounced. They basically, because and I didn't really catch that. He was talking to the guys, and they were just like, like going back in, and you're just so funny. These guys were like, "Yeah, that's not gonna happen, man. No, you don't get shown the door and get back in. It's like, the rule. Have a good night, okay." And then later on, he was walking by us. "I don't know why y'all going in there. They throw you out. They'll throw you out just for agreeing with the comedian." And I was like, I got a feeling it wasn't just that you were agreeing with the comedian.
Yeah, maybe you were overzealously agreeing.
Possibility. But yeah, it was fun. It's weird. And I know you've whenever you're in a situation where you're with a celebrity, you see a celebrity, and you just sort of just playing in your head, like, this guy. I'm watching Rogan at the time, and things come and go, but got to be one of the most famous human beings on the planet right now.
Oh, right now, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and you just kind of standing there, and it's not a big room, and we got great seats, and I'm just like, and I'm thinking, yeah, this is the guy. Trump goes out of his way to shake his hand, and Elon Musk hangs out with him, and it's just weird. And now you know what? You also realize why there's so much security. But yeah, he was. He had some. To his credit, good set. I mean, it was solid. Can't do most of it justice. He did it. It was funny though. He talked a little bit about, in the past few years, and he said something about, before all this, what they did in the last few years, this pandemic stuff, I'd have been one of the guys telling you that vaccines are one of the greatest inventions in the history of medical science, and it's a marvel. And he was like saying, I'd have been that guy saying vaccines. He says, now I don't even think we landed on the moon. And
I know people who believe that.
Oh, dude, if you watch, there's a few podcasts, if you watch them, and Rogan's actually had a few people on there that kind of listen. Hey, just because they call it a conspiracy, don't mean it ain't true.
No.
Okay. All right. That's the way they get you out.
That's what's the t-shirt? I need new conspiracies. All my other ones have came true.
All my old ones have come true.
Worked,
But look, then you got some stupid stuff like you got the quote unquote flat earthers out there.
Yeah.
So there's like a subset of people who are just, come on, there's, it's okay, stupidity, and you don't know if they're truly that off or just playing. But when you start talking about, oh, I don't think the Earth's round, I think the Earth's flat. Okay, that's pretty easy to, right? That's pretty easy to prove to people. Like, well, no, I mean, just you can tell by science how, and the pictures, and even if you don't trust the pictures, just the way the curve of the Earth stuff. Yeah. So that one's.
Yeah.
But listen, man, if you sit down and listen to people that truly break down the moon, quote unquote moon landing, like the fact I'm saying the quote unquote moon landing, you start watching people point out certain things and observations about how it was presented and what we know and don't know, and like all the records that apparently don't exist anymore. Well, it really, at some point you go, oh, maybe, and why have we never gone back?
Yeah.
Right.
Still not sure why we went.
Well, if we did one, I don't know. Now look, until proven otherwise, but I'm also of the mind that we are gonna, as we get older, and I think I told you this before, if whenever we pass away, however long that is, if we are granted total knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that happens. Like, if you get granted, like, all right, there you go. Here's what really happened through time. Here's right. I have a feeling we would be like, dang, they lied about that too.
Yeah,
And
the most common phrase in heaven might be, "Oh, come on, bro."
come on. What? Huh? What you? No way. Yeah, it's well, just never forget the phrase conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
Was started.
well,
It was started during the post the Kennedy assassination.
oh, was it?
Right.
All right.
Yeah, that's when they started calling. If you started, because people were questioning it in real time. They were like, "Wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. This lone gun when other people there are saying, wait a minute, didn't look like one gun, and then like the one guy who they claim did it, he suddenly gets off by some other one guy, right? I mean,
The strip club owner,
yeah, who
who
miraculously
obviously they didn't have the security that they did at the Rogan show.
I think we've talked about this before,
Yeah.
and I never thought about this until somebody pointed it out to me, and it was one of these. We'll cut to the chase. The other thing is that, so they're basically admitting now, it's sort of out there, that the CIA was involved. Now that doesn't mean that every person wasn't, but there were things, right? It wasn't exactly what they told us. But the one that always stuck to me after the fact was the people that pointed out when they did the move on Lee Harvey Oswald, right? When they brought him out. Everybody there, this is back in the day that all the cops and everybody wore dark suits and hats and stuff like that. The one guy in the entire sea of law enforcement that's not wearing a dark suit is wearing a cream color look. I mean, the dude, you could see that guy from the moon, man, if we actually went to the moon. Big white hat, big whatever, and it just happened to be the guy who was escorting the guy who needed to get shot. And in the sea parts, and all right, you'll never look at that picture again the same.
Well,
man.
there you go. Well, speaking of celebrities and idiots, we started doing a little Christmas shopping yesterday. Look, we were doing our decorations. Here's my official nutcracker. Look at that. See there, man?
That is a legit.
That's a legit antique nutcracker right there.
That is a real deal. Those of you that are listening on, those of you that are depriving yourself of the visuals of the Dave and Juan extravaganza, Juan just showed what looked like a torture.
I don't know. My oldest son had that. Obviously, it was for my dad, and he left it here. Told me to give it back to my dad. So I said, well, let me see. But anyway, legitimately. So yesterday we were doing a little shopping. Not much. I decided. I told Joey that what I wanted for Christmas this year is a nice rain gauge. So I've totally just given up on life. But we weren't shopping for that. We went to a little.
Wait, hang on. But you did say a nice
rain gauge.
Nice rain gauge. I think there's a difference between some piece of crap you got at Dollar Tree, nothing against Dollar Tree, and a nice rain gauge. And a
Yeah,
nice
well,
one,
we got enough rain this week. I wish I had a gauge.
and a nice one doesn't necessarily mean electronic. That's
No,
kind of
no,
no.
I want the one that catches the rain that I got to go outside and dump.
Yeah, that's fancy phone. My dad had one of those one time, I think. One of the electric, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I think the best, one of the most satisfying things of having a rain gauge would be the dumping the water out of the rain gauge.
dump it, exactly. And you got to remember to do it though, because you forget to do it, then you
Yeah.
get rain,
Yeah,
and you're
well,
like,
it's like this how much I got this week.
Man, I don't know, or how much evaporated.
But so we were going to this little boutique that, I don't know, not a little boutique, it's a chain. That both Joey and Riley like. It's really Riley ought to like it more than Joey, because it's more for Riley's age than Joey's. But Joey likes some shoes that they sell there. So we're going in there. And who do I see walking out? The most famous and most successful social media influencer at this time in the country, Olivia Dunn from LSU gymnastics team.
Really?
Yep. Gymnast who, at first, it's a bit sexist. I wasn't positive it was her. It was a little warm yesterday, so she had shorts on, and I was trying to check out, her figure, and I said, "Oh man, I thought she'd have been tighter than that." So I thought maybe there's someone.
So this is before or after you knew who she was?
I recognized her. She was leaving the stores we were coming in.
I don't think I would.
Yeah, well, I thought her butt would have been better.
You know what? We have never edited. I don't remember the last time I edited something off of this.
There you go. Might edit that one.
we might have to delve into the. But no, I'm in a hurry. I'm on a trip. So it's gonna be there. So.
But so I watched to see what car she got in, because I'm wondering, and she got in a BMW. And then had a LSU parking tag on it. And then I looked to see the plates, and it was New Jersey plates. So I'm in the store and I Googled, where's Livy Dunn from? And she's from New Jersey.
So you had stalking. You've
crossed over to
stalking. Yeah. Okay. Now, did your daughter was she watching?
She
was your
wasn't
daughter
with
aware
us.
of this?
She wasn't with us. No.
Oh, okay.
But I asked one of the people working in the store, so is that Livy Dunn? She said, "Oh yeah." I said, all right. And then I turned to my wife and I said, "How did it feel to be a woman in her mid-50s shopping at the same place as Livy Dunn?"
What was the name of the store?
Frock Candy. It's like a
Frock
candy. Yeah, it's a chain. Frock Candy. If you had teenage daughters, you would know.
I would, huh? Okay.
Yeah, you would. But so from there, and here comes the idiot part of the story. No,
Here might be some more idiot part of the story, dude. You tapped an idiot vein a couple times. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So my mother-in-law lives near where we were, so we stopped by there, and I don't know, Joey needed to pick up something from her, and so we drive up, and there's a guy standing in her driveway, and she's just shooting a bull with some guy, and I said, "Cool, she has company. That means I can stay in the car. It'll be quick." She talks a lot, keeps you going. And then, Joey said, "No, you can't do that. You have to go in. That's rude."
Is that what Joey sounds like?
Yeah, exactly. She's
what my wife used to say, "I don't sound like that." And I said, "I know you don't, but that's what it sounds like to me."
Exactly. But then, so she introduces us, or we just roll down the window when we turn in the driveway. She introduces us. She said, "Oh, this is Chris from across the street." And he chimes in, "Yep, I've lived here 3.5 years, literally right across the street. And this is the first time I meet. I just came over to say hi. I saw her in the yard." I said, "Well, that's nice." So then we get out and go in the house, and here comes a dude coming in the house.
Oh, he just met her.
Yeah.
And he's coming in the house.
Brought her a pie. He had a pie, but just brought her a piece of the pie. She had to cut a piece off because he wasn't giving her a whole pie. But then I'm talking to this dude for like 30 seconds. I said, "I think this dude is drunk." It's like noon. He said at least 10 times.
Chris.
His
name's Chris. Hey,
at least 10 times. "I literally live across the street. Literally live across the street."
Literally.
And he kept pointing, but he was pointing the wrong way. But then Joey and her mom go into the back of the house to get whatever Joey's borrowing.
Oh no,
And
no,
I'm
no,
sitting
no,
now
no,
in
no.
the kitchen
Oh,
with this dude.
oh.
Dude, and he is going on and on and on. And I'm about to text Joey, come get me out of this situation. But I see her phone sitting there.
That is spousal abuse.
Dude, the dude is dropping the F word and the MFer like there is no tomorrow. Loud as could be.
Hang on.
On and on and on.
You ever wonder about that? That is the most amazing thing still. And I'm an old guy and I'm still amazed by people that do that. Like, okay.
Well, I'm more offended by the fact that you automatically think I'm not offended by it than the fact that you're using the word.
Didn't even check. Didn't even say it one time and say, "Oh man, excuse my language." Well, you could, oh,
Right,
bro,
right.
right? That's
But
what
he's
happens.
45 years old in front of my 70-something-year-old grand or mother-in-law, just like there's nothing.
Nice.
And then he's talking about, hey, I'm thinking about, I live with my girlfriend. I think, I want to get her a ring, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I'm sitting down saying,
All right.
Don't.
Oh, so let's clear this up. This guy was either drunk, or high,
nuts, or both. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Three.
Maybe a little bit. Noon, bringing over a pie, but not the pie. Just cut yourself a slice.
Yo, take a slice. Take a slice. I said, no, bro, I'm good.
Nah,
I'm good. Not a pie person.
Did y'all talk about Olivia Dunn's backside?
No, didn't talk about that. I didn't talk. I brought up nothing.
Didn't bring up how disappointed you were. Well, she's a gymnast, man. You'd think, yeah.
I didn't sound disappointed. I was just surprised.
Surprised. She got to be pretty small, right? Pretty small.
Yeah. But she also, she literally multimillionaire from NIL deals.
Sure.
And she dates Paul Skeens, the guy who was the ace pitcher for LSU, who's also a gazillionaire.
Yeah.
So,
baseball players. Whoo, man, forget what you know about football. Baseball.
Yeah, he signed the biggest, and I don't know squat about baseball, but he signed the biggest bonus ever for a baseball player.
It's crazy. Yeah, those high end baseball players get seriously paid, and they don't tend to get concussions. So that's that's pretty. So you would think that'd be more people want to get into baseball, man. Bigger squads, more money. No concussions. Just saying. But no, and Olivia don't, like I said, I probably wouldn't know her. I mean, if I ran into her at Walmart, and maybe she doesn't go to Walmart, maybe that's why. And she doesn't hang around the Sam's, I'm sure. So I probably would not run into her, even if I was there. But there's something about this NIL stuff that that gets me. And everything's supposed to be you're supposed to treat male athletics and female athletics for the same way, right? And it's like, and we all know that they're the same and the same. But look at who gets the NIL contracts. Look on in women's sports.
Two of the biggest ones, right there at LSU, Livy Dunn and the Bayou Barbie chick.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. She's an attractive young lady, but that looks like that's a mess. I'm not saying her necessarily, but that situation, that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But hey, glad you did you ask her if she listened to the podcast? You didn't?
I did because I wasn't positive it was her until I did a little more stalking, and I didn't want to.
You should have told her, said, hey, just in case you're Olivia Dunn, I'm going to talk about your butt on the next Dave and Juan podcast, and how it, just wasn't quite.
Wasn't what I expected. It was still good.
Here's what's fun.
From whatever your age is and the gymnast.
She's legal. She's legal age. I mean, it wasn't like you were a total perv, a little bit of a perv, but not, I'm not shocked that you have those thoughts. That you share them with us I
shared it with my wife sitting right there. I said, I think that's her, but I thought she'd have a better one.
It's easier with your wife. I would tell that to my wife. Like because what my wife's not going to do? She's not going to go around saying, Dave was talking about this girl's butt and how it wasn't as impressive as you thought Dave, a world-class athlete should be.
I hold nothing back from the audience.
Okay.
Whether it makes me look bad, whether it makes me look good, whether it makes me look creepy. I'm there for everybody, man.
Apparently, you know what I look like to somebody in Austin. I look like a Mason. I don't even know what a Mason. I guess it's be like a Freemason or
Yeah, I'm not real sure what those dudes do.
Here's why. Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know either. I'm not I guess I need to do a little research on that. But I'm
Bush
walking.
that listens to the show on occasion, Bush formerly from Thibodeau. He's like fairly high up in that stuff in the Mason.
A Mason?
I think that's what he does. I think that's what he's.
Okay,
Yeah.
So
they wear uniforms and stuff.
We're going to establish that we don't know what we're talking about, but that's never stopped us before. All right, we're not lying. We just may be wrong. So I'm walking to middle of the day. I was going to visit a guy in a bank branch, and I looked at my I did the directions from the deal, and I guess Google grabbed the wrong thing. It grabbed, instead of doing the address of the branch I was supposed to go to, it grabbed the branch's name, which is actually the bank is called Encore. Okay, so it says, and it doesn't look that far of a walk from my hotel, so I head off there. Well, it was sending me to like Encore Music Club or something, or something. I don't even know. So I should have known more when I was walking through areas where I'm paying more attention to like what's around me. And that's the thing about Austin and most big cities now. You can be walking pretty close to some pretty decent stuff, but still have to walk through a sea of wretched, But as I walk, and it just so happened, I walked, this is afternoon now, I wasn't at the club yet, walked right by Rogan's place, right? The comedy mothership. And they had this guy.
Yeah, which I tell you, I drove by there.
They call it Dirty Six.
Close to that.
6th is the 6th Avenue. They call it or 6th Street. They call it Dirty Six. So I didn't know that at the time. I'm walking, and there's this older African American gentleman. He's dressed kind of nice, and he's at a car doing something. And this guy, and I'm guessing it's a guy. I got to be honest. It was one of those. The first thing I can identify, kind of crazy. Whoever the person was kind of, and that's a medical term, by the way, y'all. I'm not, you can look it up. Crazy is a medical term. So there's a crazy person, and I'm thinking it was, I don't know why it was what he was identifying with it, because from what was on, what he, she, whatever was wearing, could have gone either way. Like, what's going on here? But apparently was asking this older guy for money, or hitting him up for money. And then this older guy, as I walk, I can start hearing him saying, he started preaching to the guy, telling him, "Hey, why are you coming to me? Like, just kind of like, why are you on the street, man? You making things worse for everybody." And blah, 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 blah. And then I am nowhere near, I'm on the other side. I'm on the sidewalk. I'm on the other side of this guy's car. I'm just minding my own business, walking by. This older guy says, "Why are you asking me for money?" And I'm wearing a suit jacket, white shirt, I got that casual banker look, I guess, going.
Right.
Why are you not asking? That guy's got money. That guy looks like a freaking Mason. Like, I guarantee you that guy right there's got money on him. Why are you not asking him for money? You know, about my pace picked up a little bit.
Yeah, whoa.
Like, gosh dang, I'm just minding my own freaking business out here. And I'm getting, and later on, I saw some friends that said, "What's a Mason look like?" Because I had some random dude.
I'm not positive. I may be wrong with my assumption of what it is,
but so move my butt along, and true story. Later on that evening, when it was probably like 3 hours, 4 hours later, we came back for the late, maybe even longer, for the late show at Rogan's. That person, not the guy that said I look amazing, the other one, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people just kind of camped out and sleeping on 6th Street, man. It's
yeah, that's the dirty part.
It's the dirt. It's the Dirty Six. Did visit my friend. He told me it was a slightly different branch there. Like, it's typical Austin, nice area. It's a bank branch. It doesn't look like a branch at all. It's got some sit down areas, couple of rooms, but all open. And the kitchen is visible, right? The kitchen area, and a full freaking bar.
Oh, wow.
Full freaking, they got like a coffee maker, like espresso, fancy stuff on the side, but then a full freaking bar. He says 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Says, "What are you having, man?" I'm like, he's pouring himself a whiskey, like on the rocks. Okay, he's a guy I knew. He said, "Yeah, it's." He said that. He goes, "It was a Friday." He said, "It's no, it was a Friday. What was it? It was middle of the week. Never mind.
No, yeah, you were there in the middle, like on a Wednesday.
We were degenerates. But I don't want to be rude, But I also told him, said, dude, I ain't drinking. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I got a 10 o'clock show I'm going to tonight. Like
no, let's be honest. Yesterday at 11 o'clock in the morning, you sent me a picture of you having a beer.
That's going to be edited out too. That's well, that was because my wife's out of town and I pretty much my stuff done, and my son had a couple shows in Midtown, which is right near my favorite place, Holman's. Now, where I messed up was, so I said, "Yeah, I'll take a ride with you." He drove us. I'm just gonna go hang out and I'll get some coffee. I'll walk around, get coffee, and then later on during the break, you can grab lunch. And I thought maybe I'd get a beer, so around lunchtime and go to the second show. But nothing was open at 10 o'clock in the morning. Nothing was open. Like no coffee place. Yeah, Midtown. I guess I don't know why. There's no coffee shops around that area. Bars, nice places, some restaurants, but nothing was open till like 11 o'clock night. Everything opened at 11. But yeah, man, Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Good luck trying to find a cup of coffee. So I just hung out. And then by the time my place opened up, it was noon Eastern time.
Yeah.
And
it was early evening in London.
Texas football game was coming on. So I'm like, well, yeah, that's it. That's sort of my favorite brunch right now, man. Cheese omelets and a stout beer. That's
what you gonna do, man.
That's the way to go. And talking football, we talked Saints before, the Final Four, so to speak, the college CFP.
College football playoffs.
And they got what they deserved because the NCAA needs to go away, but it's kind of deserving that on their last time to do the four that they end up with such a cluster.
Right, but teams that were ranked 7 and 8 yesterday are suddenly in.
It makes sense and it makes no sense. I'm not a Florida.
I laid money on Alabama to win it all.
Probably makes sense. I'm no Florida State fan, but if you are a Florida State fan,
their athletic director is like reaming everybody.
You got plenty of reason to say, wait, I'm sorry, we belong to the Big Five conference.
We're Major Five, Power Five conference. We won our conference champion. We're
undefeated.
Isn't that the criteria?
Yeah, it was supposed to take out. Yeah, and then what if you're Georgia? What if you're freaking Georgia?
Yeah, I can't.
Georgia's number one. They haven't lost a game they were 29 game winning streak, right? They lose a game by 3 points and fall out of the top four, right? It makes no sense. And then Texas had to go in because Texas beat Alabama.
Right. That was the clincher right there. It's like, okay, if we want Bama, we got to put Texas in, which means we got to let Georgia out.
Now, you know what is kind of funny though, and the clip is out there. I don't know. I saw it on Twitter or something, that the Michigan football team, and I guess a bunch of folks around the program, and they're all like watching. They're watching the
announcement,
the broadcast, the announcement, and they already knew they were number one, and it went on and went on and went on. And when they announced number 4, man, they were praying that it was going to be Florida State.
Yeah. So almost like just let the energy out of the room really quick.
They threw up Alabama and you heard the room go, ooh. And then like some people started clapping like, hey, like we can't wait to take them. And
yeah, we want Bama.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I did like after the Texas game yesterday, though, when they were presenting the trophy, they also presented them with a championship belt. And the Undertaker from WWE wrestling was there.
Get out of here!
Yeah, I don't know if he went to school there. I don't know, but it was like he's up on the podium giving out a belt.
That's amazing. That's good stuff. Well, so I'm gonna root for Texas for that. I'm not an Alabama hater, although like that's part of what so many people in Louisiana.
I mean,
that
my son went there, but I don't pull for them for it.
Right. That said, man, kind of like to see Michigan curb stomp them. Just because the true villain in all this is Harbaugh.
Dude,
I love
6 games suspended twice for 3 games this year.
and this is he's leaving. That he's out of there. So to me, that's the beauty of it. That'd be perfect. Because the
I
last
did see
guy,
in the announcement thing when they talked to him, his first thing was to give glory to God. And I'm saying, well,
Harbaugh?
yes.
Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right,
Okay.
man, look at you. Look at you, Mr. Cheater.
Hey man, come on now. That's become the thing, man. CJ Stroud too. Like he's every priest's favorite quarterback now. CJ Stroud. He does some big time preaching at the end, but it's good for him. And that's what ends up happening. Like 1 or 2 people do it, and some of these guys, and I'm not saying that the people that are saying it don't believe it. I think a lot of them do, but they're just always been beat down not to talk about, not to
Right.
But they do now, and yeah, it's all good. Again, it's not quite athletics, but it was an observation I had. So I staying in Austin. I'm at the Hyatt. Was it Hyatt Place or something? Nice place. I just went there because I wasn't going to stay at the big Marriott Marquis because they wanted too much money, and I don't really like these. I don't like these big conference hotels. It's just like I don't like being like I'm in a mall, and it's too many people. So like, awesome, go in there and great breakfast in the morning, right? I mean, really cool. I didn't even know when I changed the guy. So anyway, free breakfast in the morning. I'm like, get out of here, legit. And it was legit. I mean, like a nice breakfast. But there was also a runners conference, like some national some national running.
Yeah,
and
those people are
most of these
runners.
Most of these folks were staying in my hotel. So and I'm in the morning, I don't really have to get up and go too much. So go down there. I'm sitting doing my breakfast, which of course, it's Austin. They got the big, little very nicely done fruit, all this other stuff. Then you get the eggs but then they have a separate free range chickens. Like they literally have a separate pan, a separate, I guess pot of free range chicken eggs. All right. So I had both. I got news for you guys. The taste of freedom does not make it to the eggs. So, I know you can tell me that the eggs that I'm eating out of these free range running birds are supposed to be, I don't know, but them caged chicken eggs are pretty good. In fact, I'm thinking these poor birds, if they were being kept in cages, it'd be a disservice to them to, turn my nose up on their handiwork.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not the chickens that chose to be in the pens. I mean, why are you disrespecting?
They're at a disadvantage, and they're producing equal quality eggs.
But I end up eating breakfast 2 different mornings, by myself, doing my deal around a bunch of runners. And the only thing runners like more than running, talking about running. I mean, oh man. And I gotta tell you, there are no unhealthier looking healthy people than runners.
Yeah.
There's a difference between people who I like to run. I ran today. I did 4 miles today. Now I ain't gonna do. You know what I'm gonna do tomorrow? I ain't running. I probably won't run for the week. I'm gonna be on a little trip. But run. People say like, "Are you a runner?" Define that. I like to run every now and then. It ain't my life. And but these hardcore runners, dude, they look like they got something like a tapeworm or something,
Yeah, they're just, it's unhealthy. There's somebody who I see running almost every morning when I leave for work. She's running down the street. And I'm serious. It's like, if you stumbled, you break a leg. Because there's nothing, if you're skinning a knee, you're breaking a leg.
Yeah, it's not like you see like some athletic folks, they got some muscles on them, and they're now if you're going to be like a legit like these marathon running freakazoids, they don't carry extra weight. They right? And don't get me wrong, I'm sure they're quite a bit healthier than either of us.
There's a guy in my
don't-
neighborhood who
don't
does what's
look at-
called super marathons, and I think they're like 50 miles, and I think he's done like a 100-mile stuff over a couple days. Run through the desert and stuff, and you'll see him running like with weight packs on him and everything.
If it's a choice, doing that or being, a heroin addict, I guess, because that's somebody that's just chasing. That's
Yeah.
somebody you got to find that guy. Say, man, you got a hole in your life, bro. You are compensating for something. And don't get me wrong, running 50 miles but here's the deal, because it's not like you're just going to run 50 miles. You got to run
Right, you got to run a lot more
miles
than 50 to get to 50.
every freaking day. You gotta make yourself. But
yeah, I met a guy the other night who obviously thought I was a lot more energetic than I actually am. We had Joey as a teacher. She had her her school Christmas party the other night. It was at the assistant principal's home, where it is every year. I talked about it last year. It's family property because the street you turn on is called the road. No, the street you turn on is called the land. Her street is our road. Those are the official names of it. So, but this guy was from around where I'm from. I don't know. So we were just talking, and he was talking about young people today, and he's younger than me, but just said, the plan, they won't give me overtime. I'm taking it, man. Those kids, they just want to go home. And so I said, I'm sure you the same way. There's something to be done. You're going to do it. He said, I'm moving out. I'm moving out of the neighborhood because I got too much energy. I can't, I need more yard work to do. And he said, I know you like that. I said, bruh, not sure what kind of feeling what kind of vibe I'm giving off.
Man,
but you ain't getting it.
That's how you identify somebody who is not a podcast listener.
But then a little while later, I knew for sure he was from the country because, again, we're at somebody's house. And he said, is it raining outside? Because I go take a leak. So he went outside at the party to go pee. That's
somebody that, there's some things you can keep to yourself.
Yeah. But then the
why
best
why
part,
would you tell somebody else? Like, let's just say,
I don't know. It's like, buddy, this is a nice house. There's quite a few bathrooms in here. I'm sure.
Quite a few. And you know what? And you know what else I would bet? I would bet that if the owner of this house knew you were going to take a leak outside in their yard, that's not the Christmas spirit there, bro.
It's odd. No, because we stayed, things started at 6 and we stayed till a little after 10 because all of a sudden, like, I hit a wall.
Man, that's long for you.
Bro, that's way long. And, I
4
just had
hours.
I just had one drink. It was a 32-ounce drink. But,
got
and I'm
it,
just always like, man, I got to get out of here. But we found out that shortly after we left, now remember, this, again, family property, which means it's brothers and sisters who all live on the property. Somebody called the cops with a noise complaint to the teacher party.
Well, I got two. I'm of two minds with that. One is, okay, that's a true move, right? Especially if it's your family. But the flip side of that is you say a teacher party like teachers are this.
Dude, they got full on. Yeah, they got full on DJ and light system.
Dude, if you'd have told me that there was a knife fight at the teacher party, I'd have been, well, teachers, man, teachers, it's all different. I grew up. I grew up a different. Again, obviously, that's a well-done statement. It's a different era, Juan.
Yeah.
But I grew up with teachers. My dad's friends
Your dad
were all
was
teachers.
an educator.
So that's what I always said. I always had a different, I guess maybe a different mentality with teachers because I saw them like, what I'm saying? Like a lot of folks only saw their teachers at school.
Yeah.
And would freak out if they saw them anywhere else. Like you see a teacher at a grocery store, it's like, you got to tighten up like you're in a classroom. I saw teachers. I knew they were good people and some of them were bjorks. You just kind of.
Well, they always have their mascot is the Cardinals, and everything at the school they say chirp chirp.
No, they don't. Please.
Yeah,
no,
they do.
Don't.
Yeah, they do. It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
But they had some drink there, like a vodka drink. and they call it chirp something. And I forgot what the other thing was. I told you, I said, don't you think they're taking this theme a little too far?
And it's a private
No, it's public school. Public school. You know,
your
like
daughter goes to a
lower
public school?
No, it's my wife's school, where my wife teaches.
All right. That clears things up a little bit. All right. My bad. I was thinking it was your daughter's school because I saw the picture you posted and it's very, very nice.
No, this was a different party we went to last night. I'll tell you about that one.
Yeah, those Seminoles are just
right. It's been like a busy weekend for me.
And it all started off with looking at Olivia Dunn's butt.
Yep. So last night we go to this thing, and it's like an hour from here, and I'm like praying for rain. I said, "Oh, please, I don't want to go to this thing. I do not want to go to this thing." I went to a party last night. I went shopping today. Yeah, I'm watching football. But we went out in St. Francisville. There's a gorgeous place. It's like a retreat facility now. But it's called The Hill. And it's an old plantation home. I think it's like 100. They were built in 1850. And they do church retreats and everything. And a pastor at my church is married to the lady who runs it. But it's just it's really nice. Just a nice Christmas show. They're free food and everything out there, and they've got nice Christmas music going on. So I was glad I went. But we left, heading home about 8:30 when it was over. And again, it's called Christmas in the Country. So this thing was in the country. It's north of Baton Rouge. And if you know Baton Rouge and lived here long or heard us for a while, and I say, anytime you use the word north and Baton Rouge together, it could lead to, a couple of things. So as we're getting closer to Baton Rouge, you see all kind of cars parked on the side of the road. And when I'm not exaggerating, 24 cop cars, fire trucks, and emergency vehicles, all on one side street. You see people walking in camouflage back to their cars. As we're driving and keep getting closer, you see nothing but it. We must have met up with another 24 vehicles.
I'm amazed that Baton Rouge has that many cops. Okay.
I know. I was surprised.
That's a plus. Like, wow, didn't know we had this many.
Yeah. And I told Joey, I said, I guarantee you there's a party going wrong somewhere. And so there was this big thing, some group that organizes parties, like a promotion company or whatever, from in North Baton Rouge, had a trail ride and bonfire.
Oh God!
Now, when I think of trail ride, I go back, there's people riding horses and stuff. But it's like four-wheelers, and they call them side-by-sides. I call them like little dune buggy stuff. So that, and then they had like DJs and all kind of stuff. And sure enough,
when I think trail ride, I'm thinking like a tractor pulling a wagon.
But I wouldn't think all this stuff at night. Yeah.
No, that doesn't seem like a great idea.
So 3 people got shot. One died.
Oh, man.
Many others were injured running away. They've already arrested the guy. And it must have just been a bad night for him, because it sounds like, from reading his history, that he was, just a guy minding his business. Since 2010, he's been arrested a dozen times.
Well, that's barely one a year.
Right. For domestic violence, illegal use of a weapon, illegal discharge of a weapon, evading police, things like that.
I
just out trying to have him a good time. Somebody probably got in his face.
He was getting ready to turn a new leaf. Yeah. He was getting ready to, I was about to make. I didn't want to make it, boy. Man, there was a slow ball pitch coming there on that domestic violence thing. I am not gonna swing on that thing, but he just had his fill last night, and was it one shooter? Yeah. So he was just
he's the only one that got arrested. So I'm sure others were pulling out guns. I don't know.
As a general rule, if your party ends with camouflaged cops, that was a hell of a party. That was might not have accomplished everything you wanted to, might not have gone that long, but it
He
was
said there was
eventful.
well over 1,000 people there.
Oh no. Oh, well, okay. Okay. That's just let me rephrase this. It was impossible that somebody wasn't going to get,
Right.
if
That's what I
not
said. From all
shot,
the cars
stabbed,
lined, all the people's
oh,
cars lined up, you could tell it was tons of people, and that's why I said
you got
somebody's.
it.
I guarantee you, somebody got shot.
That's a teaching moment for anybody with kids or young folks that are still impressionable. Just saying, look, nothing good is going to come from that. That's not. The miracle would be
Nobody got shot.
no blood was drawn tonight. That
Yeah.
would be the miracle play. But there you go. But but you guys made it okay.
Yeah, we did.
I thought about you because we joke about people misread us, or I don't say misread us. I don't think the lady misread us, but it was somebody asked me something that I was like, really? So I'm walking out of Sam's the other day, as I am wont to do, and in the middle of the afternoon, and I get my stuff. I load my car, and then as I close the back door of my, I got a swinging thing in the back of my car. I close it, and I turn around. I was almost kind of startled. There was this elderly African American lady standing there, and I mean, but she was right up on, like, I thought, oh, what do you need? Like, I thought she needed help, or like I thought, I don't know, did somebody fall down? She says,
Mhm.
would you mind helping us with our water? So first of all, what you gonna say?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm thinking, we just need some help loading our water in the car. Okay, sure. Oh, I look up, dude. They had a pallet of Sam's Club, those mega packs.
Dude,
Like
that's
those,
heavy.
one is heavy.
Just the one pack is heavy. Yeah.
One is heavy. They had, I think, 8 on that thing, and then another lady with them, around them, had another 4 in. So the first thing in my head, I'm just like, okay, well, I don't work here. I don't know if I look like I work here. But there's a difference between asking this nice gentleman in a parking lot who you don't know from Adam, who I'm whatever, just, you're not asking me to help you with water. You are asking me to have to do some stretching.
Right.
And
you're offloading a shipment, basically.
lift with, yeah, right? I could have just got these off the truck for you if that was how.
Right. It should have said they got guys with pallet jacks in the store.
Part of me, and again, I don't, the things you think that you don't say because you're trying to be a nice person. But I wanted to ask, how'd you get these out here?
Right.
Like,
and how are you going to get them out of whatever I'm putting them in?
I ain't following you home, babe. I'm sorry. I mean, so I look, and I'm not struggling. It was heavy, but I'm like, doing up a good, get the heart rate going. I mean, that was dude. That's
there's no good way, because we buy water by the case like that.
Yeah.
And there's no good way to hold it.
Lifting up into whatever. And then when I'm putting it into the second vehicle, one of the ladies, not the first lady that asked me, but another lady, and I can tell she's sort of looking at where am I putting it. And I'm thinking, man, she better not. She had better not talk to me about how she wants these waters placed in the back of this SUV, whatever. And she didn't. She was just like, so I get it done. And I don't know. I'm just sort of. And then they made me mad.
Can I have one? I'm about to die.
No. And then they were all like, oh, God bless you, sir. God bless you. And they were just like, I mean, they were God blessing me to kingdom come. And I'm like, man.
Yeah. I was using God's name.
It's hard to, I want to be angry. I want to, it makes the story less, right. I want to be angry here, but it didn't.
Sometimes it's hard to be a good person, Dave.
I know. See this right here? This is my phone ringing. This is my man, my neighbor, Amish.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. I got the ringer off here. So Ramesh, and he doesn't listen to the podcast. So, and I got to tell you, he's a good guy. We've been here 20 years when he's been my neighbor for that long. Good dude. He's older now. He and his wife are older now. Doesn't realize I'm older too. But kind of help out with stuff. But he'll go away and stay somewhere. And his Ring doorbells. I guess when he's bored, he must just watch the Ring doorbells, or he's got them set on butterfly setting.
If the wind blows,
dude, if a butterfly goes through his front yard, I think he's getting a picture of it. Well, apparently he ordered some luggage, or he's having a suitcase delivered, and he's been gone for a couple of weeks. And he must track that stuff like he tracks the whatever. And it went to the wrong address, but he wanted me to go check to see just in case. It said it was delivered into Plano, Texas, but he wasn't quite sure, and he really couldn't see on the Ring doorbell.
If it's not in my house, could you take a ride to Plano and see?
Dude, it's in the rain. I'm like, so I go verify, and then same thing. So then he tells me yesterday it's supposed to be coming tomorrow, he called me last night that it was on. It showed up on his doorstep. So if I could go pick it up, and he's going to call me when he gets in. So I got to go deliver a good dude. And look, this is weird for you and I, or especially me, to say, whew, somebody can talk, right? You know how you just said that?
That's a lot for me to say.
Right. Where you go, I think we've exhausted this particular conversation. Now we can talk about something else, but I'm pretty sure about the third or fourth time you explained the same thing to me, I think I am. That's one of my lines now. I may not be the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I'm not the butter knife either. Okay, you can maybe swipe. Maybe the second time first time you told me I really wasn't listening, I figured I'd figure it out. So if you said it again the second time, maybe okay, I'll catch it. Third and fourth time, a superfluous. That's Dave's word of the week, folks.
All right. So yeah, that's my mother-in-law and and her new friend Chris. When we left yesterday, I asked Joe, I said, who do you think came out on the short end of the meeting, on the short end of the stick on that meeting?
Yeah, I'm across the street.
Literally.
Literally.
3 years, 3.5 years, literally right there.
Literally. All this freaking time, man. All this time.
Yeah, we come cut our grass.
Well, there you go. That'd be a neighbor worth having. Worth having. Well, my man, you know what? I think I'm pretty much packed, but I got to go. Yeah. My wife is not packed at all. In fact, probably has to have clothes she needs to wash. No. I shouldn't say that way. It doesn't needs to, wants to.
Wants to.
We're all that. We have closets. I found bags today in our utility room, laundry room, whatever you guys call it out there in America, with clothes that look darn good, look like in garbage bags, apparently to be given away. And what is it about that? Whenever we decide we're going to give clothes away, it's like it's about a 6-month process. Because you throw it in a bag. You got to build up
the energy to go through the clothes.
You throw it in a bag,
bag it up,
and then you throw it in your trunk. If you have a trunk is worse because you don't see it. If you throw it in the back of like my car, my wife's car, you will eventually. But then we'll drive around with it in our cars for weeks, right? Just gotta.
Well, the place where you donate is never convenient to where you're going.
And pretty much always in places you don't really. You kind of want to just slow down and throw it out the window as you go by. Here you go, have at it. That'd probably be the most useful way to get rid of some of this clothes is just pull up to some of these traffic lights.
Yeah, here you go.
I know you're asking for money, but
yeah, sell this.
Can I interest you?
Your little tent under the bridge.
Can I interest you in a polo with some grease stains on it? Just never could get those grease stains out. I don't know what it is about that potato chip grease, man. They just don't come out.
Butter coming out of my potatoes.
So there you go. And you can have that. I don't think it's going to matter once you get a good coat of dirt on there on the, right? Just is what it is. All right, everybody. Time to push the button. Get on out of here. The buffet has been laid
served
before you. Have at it. Come and go. Do what you want. There's a couple of free range egg level comments in there.
Some taste testing.
That's right. We talked about everything from people getting shot up to Joe Rogan's club to Olivia Dunn's butt.
Yeah, you can't get that at Golden Corral.
Maybe she's been to the Golden Corral. Maybe that's why you were. All right. I don't know. Just saying. Hey, everybody, every week, it ain't a suggestion, not a hint. We ain't subtly implying a darn thing. Y'all look it up. It's a freaking
mandate.
Freaking mandate that you need to get out there and live your best life, y'all. Go for it.
Right. Think we're doing this for nothing?
Get at it. Live a life. Life is happening. Get you some. Step it up. Get out there. Get some life on you. Get some life on you. Not the wrong kind of life.
Well, it's Christmas time.
The people that went to that, the people that went to that 1,000-person 3-wheel driving trail ride.
That trail ride.
They got some life on them. Some of them got some life out of them.
Louisiana. I didn't even know there was a place called Port Hudson.
Port Hudson. Sounds like a rustic place, a country.
They got a trail ride.
All right. Well, trail ride. Do something different this week. Y'all have fun. Hope it works out for you. And if it does, we'll see you next week. If it doesn't, it's been nice knowing you. All right. Been nice knowing you. And we'll come back and talk about what we have.
We'll be here talking about stories from Key West.
Hey, man. There you go. I'll give you the 30-year report. We've been back. We were there for our honeymoon, for our 10-year anniversary, 20-year anniversary, and now we're doing. So
it's a 10-year thing, man.
It's a 10-year thing with us, man. We get little snapshots of Key West. So I'm sure you'll be seeing some before then, because
see if it's any different now that Jimmy Buffett's no longer around.
Hey, man, your mic just went away. What happened there?
Yeah, I don't know. Am I done?
No, you came back and then you went back out. But hey, man.
Yeah, well, I changed my defaults. So
that's a sign. I hate when that happens. All right, everybody. You guys have a fantastic week. You do too, buddy. Love you, man.
Back at you if you can hear me.
Not always a good thing, but yeah. But it's real early in the morning, and it typically takes me day 2 or day 3 of a trip before I even remotely relax. You know how it works, man. And then when it gets closer to the end of the trip, you start getting stressed out because you got to come back.
Yep.
All the stuff that's stacked up on you.
Uh-huh. Wednesday will be a good day. That's about
always, yeah.
It's over. Go home.